How's it going, people? Simon Slabby here, and we're carrying on with a bit of Vindictus because Vindictus is lovely and I can't stop playing at the moment. So yeah, I guess I'll let you all know a bit more about Vindictus as we go along. So in the last one I told you about the classes and a few things like that, or along those lines, difficulty and different little options you get when you start up an area kind of thing. Well, I suppose we're kind of carrying on off that in a way. Basically what we've seen in the background is Hoarfrost Depths, and this is the 5th area I think you get to as you're casually playing through the game. And like I said before, you have a normal, hard and a hero mode. Well, normal mode you get, for the sake of argument, let's say 5 drops from a boss. I haven't really bothered checking it, so it is around 5 give or take though, and you get a basic amount of cash. If you was to do it on hard, it ups the difficulty, basically the amount of times the enemies will attack in a certain period of time, so they'll attack more frequently kind of thing. On top of that, they'll have a bit more HP and they do more damage. You can top that up again with Season of Maga, which is kind of like a sub-objective you can pick on the ship before you actually go to the area. And that ups the difficulty once again, so the enemies become exponentially stronger. Anyway, the difference between hard and normal is if you was to choose hard, you would gain an extra 30% cash for completing that little area. So for this example, if I was to complete this on hard, I'd gain 30% extra cash compared to if I did it on normal. You also gain 1 extra drop from the boss, which means if you're farming, then obviously you'd want to be doing it on hard because you get more items per run. But then it also, you have to kind of worry about repairs and stuff, which I haven't really covered either. But anyway, moving up onto Hero, which is the hardest difficulty. You can only enter Hero or do Hero mode at 50 plus, and the difference is quite big. The enemy gain quite a lot more health, and they also attack quite a hell of a lot harder. But the advantage is you gain, I think it's plus 50% or 60% cash. On top of that, you gain extra items on top of it yet again. So hero mode is obviously going to be the best to actually farm on, but the thing is, hero mode does make it quite a lot harder. And one thing I haven't mentioned before is the fact that you do actually have to repair your armor. Now, when you're starting off, the cost of repairs is kind of tiny. But at this moment in time, I'm currently level 62, I think. The background footage you see in the background is from a couple of days ago. It's just kind of mounted up and I'm chucking them all out slowly. But repair costs at 60ish is about 12k, give or take, whenever I end up going back to it, which is normally after a few different areas have been run through kind of thing. And you get anywhere between 6 and 15k cash per run, I guess, so you're not gaining a lot of cash from simply doing these runs. So you kind of got to make up your money through drops, which brings us into another annoying thing which I've just recently found. Checking the forums and stuff, everyone said that once you hit 60 and above, it starts to get quite a lot harder compared to before. I can agree with that. The raid bosses, the like big bosses you're meant to have a group for, everything up to, I think it's around 50ish, I soloed without much trouble whatsoever. Now that I've hit over 50 plus, and there's a few of them which, yeah, they're kind of difficult now. For example, there's one with the Vampire Lord. I have actually got a video of it, and you'll see, if I end up checking it up, he's got like 12 times HP, so he's got 12 health bars to go through, which is quite a lot, let's be fair. And he just annihilates me. I really can't dodge and deal enough damage at the same time. There's another one then where there's a giant spider, and then giant spider's bigger brother, big giant green spider. Those two, I was expecting it to be nice and straightforward, nice and easy. As soon as I entered, I was instantly killed. I was just trapped in the corner, completely fucked, couldn't do anything. So the big bosses are starting to get quite a bit harder now. One thing I am trying to farm at the moment is one of these yeti things. He's called Black Belly, he is. And the reason for that is you can level up crafting, and at the moment I've done like plate smithing, so I can get all heavy armors and plate armors, which is basically what I'm using on this Kai, and it'd also be handy on any other characters as well. So at the moment I've got, I think, 230 proficiency out of 350, so I can do like level 50 gears at the moment, which is pretty good. But now I need to farm bosses which I can't really solo. I've looked on YouTube and stuff for videos, and people are soloing them, but clearly they're quite a lot better at this game than me. I really just can't dodge them and stuff, so bosses do get quite a lot harder, and the difficulty does start to ramp up. And bearing in mind, I was only doing these bosses on hard mode. Some of them, where I couldn't do them on hard, I have managed to do them on normal, but farming them, ideally you want to be on hero. And yeah, that just probably is never going to happen. And the repair costs each time you do these will kind of fuck you in the ass if you keep dying over and over again. It just kind of eats up your money very slowly, and you don't really realise it. But it's fun, it's got to be said. Although the combat and stuff, I'm sure after watching these videos you're like, oh, it's just kind of like the same thing-ish, go over and over again, a bit like Dynasty Warriors. Kind of, yes, but the thing is, the combat is actually really fun to do. So while watching it you may think, meh, it looks kind of like the same thing over and over. When you're playing it, it's quite a lot different, because you're having a good laugh, like, because there's a good challenge and it's fun to do. It's different combat compared to what you're normally used to. So yeah. Yeah, this is one of the bosses I now need to farm in the background. This is the actual mission for it. I've got a couple of people along with me though. One thing I've mentioned before is partying up. A lot of these videos I think I've just been on my own. You can party up, and you can party up quite easily. Basically, when you're in the port, you can choose whatever mission you want, and you'll be put on this boat. And at any given time on this boat, you can press start and it'll take you to the area, and you can just run through it same as usual. However, if you was to just wait in the boat for a while, anyone else who's in the port can check the board to like set up an area for them to travel to. But on the side of it, it'll also tell them any boats that are currently available go into certain missions or certain areas. So for example, if I started this up like I did, I was on the boat, I waited for a bit, and the other two lads who were in here with me seen that someone was looking for people to join for this particular mission, and they just joined my ship. Simple as that. And that is how multiplayer works in a nutshell. It's quite straightforward. But this is the boss I'm having trouble with soloing, mainly because his constant attacks just kind of fuck me over, and I can't heal back health as well as dodge at the same time. So I kind of get boned. But I've managed to get him down to ×3 on my own, which is pretty good. So yeah, either way. So that's partying and stuff. There is one thing which is kind of annoying on Vindictus at the moment, and that's because of the source engine code. Occasionally, depending on who's hosting, you need someone with a good connection, pretty much. You will get some weird fucking jittery lag, and you'll especially notice it in like, the big massive battles where there's like 20 of you. But other than that, it is pretty good. Multiplayer is kind of fun, makes life a lot easier. You'll be surprised the difference. For example, this boss, although I struggle my ass off to solo it, if even only one person comes along with me, we can annihilate it very easily, like disturbingly quickly. You'll be surprised. And that's just because he's got one other distraction to kind of focus on other than just raping me. It is really good. I'm loving Vindictus. Plus it's kind of different depending on who goes along with you. Oh, nice bit of news as well. 2 days ago, I think it was 2 days ago, Vindictus was updated. And before I did say the characters were Evie, Fiona, Vela, Kai, Lan, Carrack. Well, now there is an extra one, and this new one is called Hurk. And basically, he's a big fuck off sword wielder. And although he can dodge, his main way to kind of mitigate damage whilst fighting bosses and stuff is simply to kind of deflect their attacks or interrupt their attacks and just straight up counter them. It's really, really strange to play, but it is really, really powerful. If you can get the timing down for the deflections and stuff like that, Hurk is awesome. On top of that, because it's just come out, they've got a couple of new things for like new players and kind of like bonuses and things like that. If you used to make a Hurk and you start leveling your Hurk up, when you hit 15 you'll gain like a special box, and inside this box, once you crack it open, you'll gain high level gear which you can equip at low level. It's like level 35 gear which you can equip at level 15, so it gives you a massive advantage early on. There's also another box you can get at 30, 45 and 60, and I'm assuming they're probably the same deal. But yeah, really, really good. Makes life a lot easier when you're leveling up Hurk straight at the beginning. On top of that, once you hit, I think it's 30 and maybe at 45 and 60, you can also get boxes on all your other characters. So if you used to level up your Hurk, get them to 30, your other characters would have a bit of an advantage with some highish level gear they can equip at low level. So it's probably worth doing if you have just started or you've been playing for a while, to just level up a Hurk for a little bit just to get some free stuff. All in all, it's pretty good. They've also got another little deal going on. It's called the Guardian, the Followers and something else. I can't remember what it's called. The Guardians, I think it is. Anyway, you get new players or new people on new accounts, and you kind of sign your name to each other. So, for example, if I was the Guardian, then I'd go around to Bob, who's a new player, and I'd say, right, become my follower. We both sign our name, kind of thing. And then for every level Bob gets, we both gain something called a friendship token or something along those lines. And with those friendship tokens, there's a shop in the main town, and you can talk to Marek, and he's got like a special store just for these friendship token things. And with these you can buy a bunch of items, and quite a few of the items, some of the stuff you get out of the like in-game cash shop thing. So really, really handy and really, really worth it. You can buy these things called mercenary potions. Now you can get potions normally, although they are fairly expensive unless you farm Erd crystals to make them yourself. But the advantages of the mercenary potions is normal pots. You kind of got to wait around for a little bit for your character to kind of do the like motion of drinking a pot before you can actually heal up, which is kind of annoying. The mercenary potions, on the other hand, as soon as you press to take a mercenary potion, you are instantly healed for the full amount. Like, straight off the bat, no fucking around. Full heal. So they are incredibly handy for those emergency situations where you've just been, like, full on battered by a boss. You've been knocked to the floor, and if the boss hits you once more, you're dead. You can quickly knock one of those mercenary pots down your neck, and you are done. So yeah, really good for that. Gotta be said. And I've just reached level 60 on Kai now, and I'm now in the second city, so the second city is kind of my home base now, which is quite interesting. I've also tried leveling up the Hurk as well. Really fun. I'd definitely give it a go. In a nutshell, that's pretty much it, people. So I'm going to carry on crafting, and hopefully I can get 65 or 70, maybe. I want 70 so I can get a new pretty armor. Either way, until next time, people, I will catch you all later. Hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you again. Have a good one.